on this dig. There's a very famous ruin there. That's still there. And just in the process of going through the dig, we discovered that this beautiful big city that once was attacked. And it was attacked by Persians. And amazingly, these Persians threw open the gates of the city and let their conquerors come in. Archaeologists, why? Why?
To preserve what they had.
To preserve what they had.
Instead of having it destroyed.
Are we asking questions?
Why did they voluntarily open it?
Why did they voluntarily open those gates? It was not.
Did they want to get inside the pyramids to receive the riches that were buried?
They didn't. Remember, they were inside the city, and they opened the gates.
Were the conquerors disguised?
Ooh, that's a good question. Like,
Yeah, was there a Trojan horse or
Did
something?
the Trojan horse.
Something like
Yeah,
that, or maybe
yeah.
they thought they were something, they didn't know
Clothing,
they were conquerors. Maybe they
Right.
had costumes on.
They did.
They did know.
They did. There was an
Okay.
army parked out
Were they
there.
just
They were
stupid?
pretty obvious.
They were not.
Okay.
Lots of guns.
You may think
Was
so.
there an agreement beforehand? Beforehand?
They didn't.
Persians.
Was it a holiday?
Period of time.
They were out there a while.
But they knew they were powerful.
Oh.
They didn't want them to destroy their city,
Was it a siege?
so they.
Well,
They hid
that
everything?
is slightly more.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily exactly that.
I think you're
That's
right.
what she says.
I'm back.
Like
Oh,
a
right.
siege?
They
Lisa, repeat.
they didn't want them to destroy their city, so they willingly opened the gate.
Oh, and they buried all their stuff. They took the time to like hide all their virtual objects.
Were the Jews?
They
Jews
didn't.
did that.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Hi.
They opened the
Wow.
gates.
Oh, no, I don't know. Was it a siege? Like, I mean, like, did they run out of food and water?
You know, this was a strong city. They could have held out.
Hmm.
Hmm.
They had a firing squad set up.
Did the person who was in charge die or?
No, didn't. Good
Internally,
Hmm.
did they battle internally over what to do? Were they going crazy because they were
They were in there.
in there and they just would have had each other's
Cabin
shoulders
fever.
and they said, I'm leaving.
Everybody left? I don't know. They
Was
went
there
to
no
tunnels?
strife?
No, but good question.
Did the conquerors have something that the people inside needed? Like
They-
water or something?
They didn't. This was such a strong city.
Yeah, I heard you say that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did they have
We just thought we would ask a
pharaoh
different question.
or
Maybe we'd
prepare
answer
them
differently.
to make that decision?
Don't know. I would have to investigate that question.
Google
That
it.
was a
Give me
good
the
one,
answer and
though.
I'll Google
But
it.
that doesn't have. But it does not get at the bottom of it.
Was that city at the north or the south of Egypt?
More towards the north.
Were there only men that let them in?
No, they opened the
It was-
gates.
it
The whole
was
city
women
opened the
and-
gates. Mhm.
I was thinking like they let the women and children.
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, and they were destroyed afterwards?
Well, how would we know that, archaeologist?
Was there remains, like, of bones and people, like, of the city that opened the gates?
There was not. Good thinking.
No remains?
Well, not to indicate. If I were archaeologist, where would I look to see about that?
The brown.
Tombs, yeah.
In the dirt.
And graveyards, yeah.
So did they preserve whatever they found as when they entered the city?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. They didn't tear it up too badly, but they got it in.
We're trying to figure out why they opened the gates, not the name of the city, right?
That's right.
Right,
And they
right.
opened the gates
Yeah.
and let the conquerors come in.
They-
Okay, archaeologists, go into your teams. and think about what we've learned so far and what else you could ask when you're now in this dig to figure out this puzzle.
Wait, Jessica has one more question.
Ask your groups, what are some things that you know? What are some things that you ought to think about in terms of asking
I
questions?
guess I would like to
Sure.
say, what did they find at the Oaks gate? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of, like, our relatives often dig right at the gate,
Right.
because that's where you would have
Persians,
complications.
Egyptians, were they?
They
had nothing
Yeah.
to fear
Okay.
because
Well,
all
did
the
they really
valuables
just, like, did they
were
Yeah, that's
really kill them?
something,
Or did they,
yeah,
like,
that's what I said.
I don't
She
know.
said no, I thought that too. In some way, they
Maybe
must
it
have
doesn't
removed
matter.
something.
We don't know if
important
they
from
were
that. That's what I keep thinking.
But there were no
Was there
remains.
pyramids?
So how do we know?
that's what
Yeah.
of course there
Yeah,
were,
that's
of course there were, because
Yeah.
He gives half to another country.
I didn't know if they were just.
Slaves.
after creation.
Like Israelites.
Oh, really? Yeah, pretty long time.
Pretty much.
Well, why would they open the gates though? Or
Let's
why would they open the gates?
Why, that's the question, why did they open the gates?
I want you guys to think about what you know about Egypt too. Don't leave that out of it.
We're sitting
What
over
you
here, we
know
totally
about
lost our
Egypt.
mind over here.
Yeah.
The Shim Shima group.
Ah,
We're
so
singing
back
now.
to Egypt. What do you know about Egypt? Because we're in Egypt in a
I'm
day.
trying to think,
Yeah.
is it Giza or?
The Pharaoh was a god.
Oh,
No, he wasn't a god. He could say worship a god.
But I don't, Giza would be, I don't.
Oh, no,
it's
I'm
not
sorry.
that far
We didn't
east.
think of
Okay.
But it doesn't, it
Okay,
actually,
okay,
the
could
town
happen
is.
during Alexandria,
Was god on earth.
then it would be something else.
Nope, it's not Alexandria.
I don't think the
so
city
it's-
matters.
Yeah.
Does not matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
People
think
shouldn't
about
settle up there.
Egypt
They're
in
always out.
general.
Yeah,
What you
they
know
should
about
know
Egypt?
better. What do we know about
Those
Egypt?
Persians
The
were.
Nile, the Nile
What about the
River.
I mean.
The Nile.
Come on, the
The
gates
Nile.
of the Nile were open and flooded them.
So it had anything to do with God.
Ah.
That they thought.
Can I
Is that what you
suggest
were
something?
saying? Yeah, I think it does.
What?
They
They
opened
thought it was like a god.
Aswan,
or something.
what do you call it, the,
Kneeling.
Secher Aswan.
Oh, like the dam.
The dam,
Yeah.
the Aswan
Oh,
dam,
the
and
dam.
flooded
The way
all
they
the
looked and-
enemy.
They thought it was like
That
the
would
redeemer.
have been planned.
Okay, let's come back together because I think we have some questions.
What?
I think we have some questions to ask.
We don't have any.
Does it have anything to do with
Yeah.
God?
They didn't have nuclear bomb, did they have?
They're using chemical warfare.
Oh my gosh.
Sarin gas.
The answer to this question was yes.
Did they think it was like a god outside? Like
What was the question that the answer is yes? We
Has
missed
anything to
it.
do with gods?
Oh.
Nuts, yeah.
What was that again?
Definitely
It
did.
has to do with gods.
Their
Oh,
God
there's
is
something-
going to
yeah.
destroy the
Yeah, yeah.
enemy?
You know, like maybe they thought it was a good god outside that was going to help them.
Oh, it wasn't outside.
It wasn't a god.
Wait,
Inside?
Oh, maybe they booby propped the gates.
Well, the Nile was their God. They worshipped the Nile.
Ah, well, let's think about what they did worship.
Gods.
The sun, the moon.
Go.
And
They're pharaohs.
Oh, somebody asked the question that was right.
sun, moon,
What about the sun and the
sun,
moon?
moon.
Nope. It had very much to do with cats.
Really?
Give your partner
Got two
your
of them.
cheer.
So what was the
Now, in those days, in fact, cats were gods.
Wow.
And to the Persians, cats were
Persians, Persian
cats.
cats.
Oh, okay, they weren't.
Food.
So,
They were dog people?
I thought Persian cats were, never
the
mind.
Persians
They
were
like dogs.
lobbing cats over the walls.
Do they
Oh,
know?
man.
Of course they knew.
Oh.
And the people inside could not stand it that their gods were being lobbed over the walls and killed.
Oh.
So they opened the gates.
Wow.
They want them to destroy their gods.
That's right.
That's great.
Take me, but not my cat.
Crazy.
Isn't it? Isn't that a historical event? that is-
Spare my cat.
Now, you all know that
That's
in
interesting.
every content area that you teach, there are an amazing number of things like this.
Yeah.
In math, there's an interesting one. There was a satellite that was launched at the tune of millions and millions of dollars, and it immediately just was lost in its mission. Why? This is a math problem.
They didn't
I'll-
have duct tape?
I'll tell you.
Duct tape.
Part of it was manufactured in Europe, and part of it was manufactured in the US. Guess what happened? Metric.
Screwed 'em up.
Yeah.
Always that metric.
History is full of these.
I love it.
Languages are full of these. Characters are full of these. So there is no end to the stories and events that you can conjure up to ask these things with.
Black Swan.
The Black Swan.
What about the black swan?
What about the Black Swan?
Yeah. Bavaka Shah, what about it?
No,
Yeah.
she's the bitch.
No, go for
Well,
it.
I want to hear about that.
Maybe everybody should ask you questions.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so you know that everybody knew that the swan is white, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because once somebody discovered a white feather, and it was known since then that swans are white. And so in the world there are always events that are not always white swans, right? They turn into what? A black swan, because they are different and nobody can explain it until the black feather was discovered. And this is how they found that there are things, even in nature, that do not comply with what's normal and regular. But the
But
other
they happen anyway.
Kind of like the
they
white
happen
moon.
anyway.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it
Right.
has two black parents.
No one
and a
can-
white
no
moose.
one can
You know,
predict
it's not
it.
too albino.
Or know the
Nobody-
reason, but it happens.
A mutation of sorts.
Yeah, through a mutation process.
Mutation or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
But again,
It's
these events and these questions,
That's dated.
it is interesting, for sure. But the reason for using it is to have children think, and to have them use the group process every time you can to listen to what one says and use that information to strategize the next questioning pathway, if you would.
Here's my big problem with this, because I've done little 20 questions. The kid who's super smart and gets it right away. That's the, right? He's the,
Yeah, now,
that happens to me all the time.
that does happen.
And then the whole thing's over. You know what I mean?
Give another one.
Yeah, you have to have a backup.
And then let
You
him
can
do one.
have a backup,
Yeah.
but you also can make sure that he
Yeah.
tests it to the max. Well,
Yeah.
what question can you ask me
Right.
to make sure?
Yeah.
Um,
Or if you know who the kid is, I've taken him aside and said, cut me a break.
yeah.
I've done that. I have done it, okay?
So which city was it, by the way?
Memphis.
I've had to do that too.
So it's all the way in the south, Memphis, isn't it?
Well, it's kind of about, it's a little bit further north than it
It
is.
is on the
Yeah,
map.
yeah. But
This would make
I
an
do
excellent
want you to
trivia game.
think in terms of that process.
Back to the
And
Irish.
back to your
Yeah.
issue, actually, if I said yes, that's the answer.
Yeah.
What other questions can you ask
Mm-hmm.
further on that?
Yeah.
So go a
Just switch it a
completely
little
different
bit. Yeah.
direction and
Right.
have them ask even more questions.
Right.
To get to, okay, well, so that, you
Yeah.
got it, it was cats.
Right.
So what about cats? I don't have to
Yeah.
stop there.
Yeah.
Now, every time I've kind of stopped and giving you
Yeah.
the story, but I don't have to stop.
Yeah, I know what you mean,
It's
yeah.
interesting because they really have all their figures and statues and arts with that face of a
The cat, yeah.
Yes.
I
The hair
never
was cat.
understood.
Yeah, why are they, I didn't never knew why they were that.
Right,
Oh,
because
they were cat
they were
lovers.
gods, you see. They were gods.
You know what, actually, because a lot of like,
That's interesting.
they could, why would they, probably because they were
So
nocturnal, they could see at
interesting.
night maybe, I don't
Couldn't
know.
they eat the vermin because didn't they have crops?
They did.
Oh, so they weren't, that is a good thing
That's
about
what I
that, yeah.
think.
Now, what can I do further with this?
Mhm.
I can go just exactly that direction. Okay, now you can Google.
Or you could go with geography.
Groups.
Yeah, you could take a million.
Go and find out more
Yeah.
about the archaeological process if it's older kids. Or what were some of the cats' names that were, the gods of this or whatever. Where was this city? When was this city? I can go that direction and ask you to do even more research. If it's even eggplant, we can talk a lot more.
Recipe.
Yeah, how do we eat eggplant? Why wasn't it something that we wanted to eat raw necessarily? Just continue the process if you want to. If you want to just start off the lesson and relate it to the rest of the lesson, just finish and go on. As I said, you, the teacher, really control this process. And what I'd like for you to do in your groups right now is I'd like for you to think of an example that you know you teach and you might be able to use this with. So all of you,
Oh, I have a
just
good one.
generate some ideas.
Zen.